What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and today I've got another story about a Minecraft kid for you guys. It was sent in to me by a dude about his stepbrother. Unfortunately, got some relation going on. Being related to the Minecraft kid is a giant L, but you can't do much about it. Anyways, his stepbrother ended up getting so heated over Minecraft that he punched his dad. And obviously, as soon as I saw this, I knew it would be a story time you guys would enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. And just a little piece of advice, I wouldn't recommend punching anyone over any video game, but especially Minecraft, dude, okay? It's not Minecraft. It's not like punching a tree. There's real consequences. Anyways, it's important to mention that this dude's stepbrother is 19 years old, right? So, he's a full-grown adult, and he had a part-time job and was currently taking a gap year to figure out what he wanted to study in college. Which honestly is fine. I can understand needing a year to just work a bit, figure out what you want to do. It's a lot of pressure to be fresh out of high school and pick what you want to do for the next 60 years, If you know what you want to do, then that's great for you, but I'm not going to hate on the dude for that. That being said, the only thing he had managed to do in this entire gap year was do nothing but play video games. And listen, I love gaming as much as the next guy, but I'm talking about, did nothing but play video games to the point where he wasn't showering for 2 weeks at a time to play video games, which yeah, that's a little bit excessive. If you start smelling like an onion pit, it's probably a sign that you should take a shower, not just keep the gaming marathon going. Anyways, his game of choice also happens to be a weird one that I've never necessarily heard anyone get addicted to, which was Minecraft on the Xbox. Which, it's fine. I guess Minecraft itself could kind of be addicting. I don't really get it personally, but whatever. Something about being addicted to console Minecraft is just a little bizarre. It's like if somebody said they were a huge GTA fan, it's their favorite game of all time, but they only play the PSP version and they think GTA 5 is garbage. You'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. Obviously, your opinion's your opinion, but it's just not one I think I would have ever heard before. Anyways, he had a world with some of his friends on Xbox, and that was basically the only thing that had mattered to him for quite a while now, His entire gap year, all he did was play Minecraft on the Xbox, to the point where he would just in casual conversation bring up his Xbox friends just by their name and assume that everyone should know who they are. Just talk about his Minecraft worlds using coordinates to talk to them in normal conversation. It was just weird. And like I said, on top of it, he's not showering or taking care of anything while all this is going on, and his room got so messy because he was just taking such bad care of it that he ended up getting a roach infestation in his room. So obviously not a very good moment. And his parents couldn't have been thrilled about having to get an exterminator just to get rid of the roaches in this guy's room because he just refused to clean up while he was gaming. And so their response was to say that if he wanted to keep living there rent-free, then he could only game for 2 hours a day. Which, is definitely a little restrictive, but that's what happens when you get a roach infestation in somebody else's house, and you're addicted to video games. They're probably going to limit how much you can play. If anything, he should count himself lucky because I probably would have just evicted him, I feel like if somebody gets a roach infestation in your house and they're a full-grown adult, and especially if they're not paying rent, it's eviction time, dude. I'm sorry. Son or not. The first few weeks after that rule is created, everything's going okay. He's only playing about 2 hours a day, but when he starts to get tired of having the restrictions on him, he goes behind his parents' back and buys a second Xbox to play Minecraft on. And his parents didn't realize that at the time, but I just wanted to emphasize how bad this dude's Minecraft addiction was, that he literally went out and bought a secret Xbox just so he could play after his mom and dad took it away. So basically, to this guy, punching trees in Minecraft was the equivalent of black tar heroin, he just could not get off of it. And like I said, his parents didn't discover it for a bit. He would just kind of game in his room, and it worked to his advantage because it was pretty normal for him to be in his room alone for extended periods of time because like I said, he had a part-time job and he could do his job from home. It was a remote position, so he could play Minecraft while working, he just kind of had to fill out paperwork and whatnot. So his parents wouldn't really bug him all day, so he would kind of play video games on his second Xbox while he was working. And listen, if you can do that well and get all your work done and your boss isn't going to get mad at you, then by all means, go for it. I understand why you would do it. The only issue is this guy was so into Minecraft that he ended up getting himself fired from his job. And honestly, I feel like everyone at this point makes jokes about how they watch Netflix while they work from home. You know, everybody makes jokes about how they really only do like 2 hours of work a day. So the fact that your employees could have even caught on, or your employers, sorry, could have even caught on that you were playing video games all day means you have to have been like really not paying attention. And in fact, come to find out, the only reason he had gotten caught is because he always had an AFK status like on the system that they use to communicate. And the only way that you could get like the AFK status is if you hadn't touched your mouse in like 4 to 5 hours. So basically they knew after tracking it for a few days that he was literally only touching his mouse like maybe twice a day if they were lucky, but usually once. So after they kind of got that information, they had no choice but to fire him, because that's just really bad. You know, even if you're pretending to work, you could just like shake the mouse every 10 minutes or something. Yeah, they really have no choice but to fire you if they start paying attention and see that you're literally only looking at the computer for 45 seconds a day. And on top of it, they had also given him 2 warnings about it and been like, hey, you know, we noticed that you're going AFK a lot, please knock it off. So they weren't trying to be mean to him, he just couldn't put down the Minecraft. Anyways, all this culminated one day when the subscriber who sent this to me was over at his mom's house helping his stepdad do something when his stepbrother comes into the garage and said that he had some good news for his dad. And obviously the dad, like a little suspiciously, asks him what his good news is. And he opens up by saying that he was fired, but it's not a bad thing because he doesn't really need the job and now he can focus on all of his passions without any distractions. And the dad is obviously not too thrilled with hearing this, you know. He's like, you got fired? What are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna pay for anything? How are you gonna support yourself? And the Minecraft kid just says something about how, like, basically he just wants to play video games until his gap year is over, and he might extend it a bit, and was just hoping that his parents would just cover everything while he was there. So, like, you know, his entire plan to focus on his passions was literally just to play Minecraft. You know, not like he wanted to open a Minecraft server, not like he was gonna make content, anything that might make money. No, he just wanted to play video games while his parents paid for it for the rest of his gap year. And it doesn't really sound that great to the dad, obviously, so he points out that his answer to the question doesn't really make sense and asks how he's gonna support himself, and then tells him that he's an adult and like it's unacceptable for him to just play video games all day while his parents support him. And, you know, that would probably piss me off a little bit too. Like, dude, you really can't just be sitting around playing video games all day once you're an adult, especially if you can't support yourself. Like, it's one thing if your shroud in playing video games is making you hundreds of thousands of dollars every month, but if you're just gonna be sitting around waiting for your parents to support you while you just play Minecraft, yeah, that's just pretty unrealistic. And so his dad pointed out that, like, if he didn't have a job and he was just going to be hanging out, then he was going to be turning off the internet while he was at work, so that way he would be forced to read books or do something more productive with his time. Which, I know a lot of people are going to say is too far, but at this point, it's probably the best course of action. Be like, listen, fine, you're not going to work, you just want to hang out and do nothing for a few months, then you can read books and think. You don't need to be playing Minecraft. But when he says that, his stepbrother just starts freaking out about how that's not fair and he needs the internet all day because, and I quote, you know, just makes a horrible argument, he had to get crafting with the bros, which might be the worst argument ever. No, you don't understand, Dad. I understand I don't have a job, I'm not going to school, I'm just sitting around doing nothing while you pay for it. But you can't turn off the internet while you're at work even though I don't pay for it because I have to get crafting with the bros? My goodness, that sounds like it would be a lyric in a Jake Paul song in like 2011. It's every day, bro. Yeah, I'm crafting with my bros. I would throw it up there as just a very, very bad knockoff version of It's Morphin' Time from the Power Rangers. That's what It's Crafting with My Bros sounds like. Anyways, the dad points out that, like, you know, he doesn't help pay for the internet in the first place, and he wasn't just gonna let him play video games all day and get another roach infestation in his room, which I also think is why I think the dad's reaction is more fair. Like, sure, turning off the internet might seem extreme to some people. One, he's not paying rent. Two, he's not paying for the internet. Also, the dude had such a bad, like, gaming problem that he literally didn't clean his room to the point there was a roach infestation. It makes sense why this guy's apprehensive to just let him play video games all day. That was when he had a job. Imagine when, like, that's gone too. He's really just going loose with it. You're gonna wake up to a family of rats cooking dinner in your kitchen a la Ratatouille. A fantastic fantastic Pixar movie released in, I don't know what year, 2014, I don't care. Anyways, to that, the stepbrother just starts absolutely freaking out, losing it in tears about how it's so unfair that his dad wouldn't let him play video games when he was at work, and how this is just more of a reason why he doesn't like him, blah, 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 blah. And the stepbrother is watching all of this goes down and says something about how, like, it's just Minecraft and everything's gonna be okay. And man, you would have thought that that was like his CIA trigger word to go full Manchurian Candidate. You know, the CIA program where they, like, wanted to brainwash people so that way they would act normally, and then, like, when you said the code word, they would turn into an elite assassin. And that's basically the, like, reaction he has to his stepbrother saying, it's just Minecraft, it's gonna be okay. The CIA brainwashing came back, he went full assassin and starts running towards the subscriber with his fists raised, talking about, like, shut up, you don't know anything about it. And his dad steps in front of him to stop him from hitting his stepbrother, and they're kind of like inches away from each other's face, and the Minecraft kid at this point is yelling at the dad about how he just doesn't understand Minecraft and he doesn't understand why it's so important to him. And he's like, listen man, you can have your hobbies, you can do what you want to do, but like you have to be able to support yourself while you're doing your hobbies. You're not just gonna live here while I pay for everything forever. That's not really how this works. If you want to follow your passions, then find a way to do it. And then the dad says something that everyone would be thinking, but for some reason the Minecraft kid takes the wrong way. He says, like, all of this over Xbox is ridiculous. You're literally threatening to fight your family over video games. Because, like, yeah, it is a little bit silly to be threatening to throw hands with your stepbrother and your dad and, like, screaming at them over the fact that they think you play too much Xbox. And the stepbrother steps back and tells his dad to take that back, otherwise he's gonna regret it. And the dad's like, what are you gonna do to make me regret it? It's true. You're literally doing all of this over video games, and it's absurd. Like, there's no reason to do it. In fact, he's still gonna turn off the internet when he's at work, and if he's really lucky, then maybe he'll get the internet for an hour a day total, but he didn't work from home, so it's not his issue to provide internet anymore. Basically saying that, like, yo bro, I will be fine watching standard cable television. I'm not the person that needs fast internet. That's on you, and maybe I'll just turn it off until you get a job. You know, confirming that he's not going to be supporting this dude's Minecraft addiction to the point where there's a second roach infestation. You don't want the sequel of that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, but it's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle rats living in this dude's room. Yeah, no thank you. I feel like the first sequel was good enough. This incenses the Minecraft kid so bad. He's so pissed that he reaches back, balls up his fist, and punches his dad right in the face. And listen, the punch wasn't the greatest of all time, but it's still punching your dad over Minecraft at the end of the day. So, even if it's a weak punch, it's still one punch too many. And after that, it was like a vacuum sucked all of the air out of the room as it sunk in what he had just did. And the subscriber starts running over to grab his stepbrother and defend his stepdad, obviously. And his stepdad stops him and is like, no, it's okay. And he's confused by how just, like, eerily calm his stepdad seems. Even though he had just been punched in the face, it's like a calm washed over him. Like the scary calm, you know? When someone's so calm after something happened, you're like, oh, they're about to snap. And he starts giving the Minecraft kid a lecture about how he's ashamed of what he just did, and said that he had 1 hour to pack up all of his stuff and get out, and he was no longer allowed to live here. And if he didn't have it all packed up and was out in an hour, then he was going to pack it up, and he was going to use all the anger he had from being punched in the face, which, you know, is a pretty scary warning, but fair. He's not gonna hit you back even though you just punched him in the face. You just have an hour to get all your stuff and get out. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable thing for the dad to say. And usually this might be like an overreaction, you know, sometimes people get mad and say stuff they don't mean to say, or, you know, they get angry and just, like, say the most hurtful thing that pops into their mind. But his dad was insanely calm, to the point where it was just obvious that he just 100% meant it. He was serious. He had an hour to get his stuff and get out, and if not, then he was probably not gonna be happy on how his stuff was packed up, you know? Gonna get tossed down the stairs maybe a little bit. But his stepbrother, for some reason, doesn't believe that his dad is serious and just scoffs at him and says that, like, he's not afraid. He's never done anything in the past when he's threatened that stuff, so he's not afraid of him now. now. And the dad tells him again, like, listen, dude, I'm serious. You're really gonna regret that. I would pack up your stuff nicely. But the stepbrother's having none of it, just not afraid of his dad at all. Just being like, no, you're not gonna do anything. So his dad pulled out and like set a 1-hour timer and showed it to him to be like, look, I'm serious. I'm literally setting a timer. But he just rolled his eyes at that and went back inside and said he had better things to do. And pretty soon they heard him back like on Minecraft playing video games within like 2 minutes of going back upstairs. And the subscriber's obviously a little bit confused on why his like stepdad's giving him an hour, so he asked why he didn't do anything about being punched. And he's like, listen, I'm gonna give him an hour to pack his stuff and get out. I've been looking for a reason to get him out, and I think this is a good one. And on top of it, I've wanted to destroy that Xbox forever, so hopefully in an hour he's still playing it, so I have an excuse to destroy it. Which, yeah, might not be cool, but he is giving you an hour to get out, and you did punch him in the face, so in the grand scheme of things, him saying he's gonna do exactly what he's telling you he's gonna do isn't that bad compared to sucker punching your dad over Minecraft. There's no video game you should ever punch anyone over. There's even less video games that like you should punch your dad over, but I feel like Minecraft is probably one of the most embarrassing games to say that someone hit you over. Regardless, the stepdad and the subscriber go inside. They each grab a soda from the fridge and they're just kind of hanging out, and his stepdad keeps checking the timer and being like, all right, he has 20 minutes. All right, you know, he has 15 minutes, and it keeps getting closer and closer. And their entire time they're counting it down, they're like literally hearing him screaming at the Xbox in the other room. Which, I don't even know how you are screaming at Minecraft. This entire thing's just weird. Being that addicted to Minecraft, being so mad at Minecraft you're screaming at it when it's Xbox Minecraft. I mean, raging at any Minecraft to the point you're hitting stuff is a little out there. Unless it's for entertainment, you know? But just like seriously raging at Minecraft? How? After an hour though, the timer goes off and the stepdad looks at the subscriber and says that like he's gonna be right back. And he goes upstairs and he hears an argument going on between his stepbrother and his stepdad. And all of a sudden, he hears his stepbrother yelling in the hall, like, you can't kick me out, I'm your kid. And his dad responds, you know, that like, well, I'm an adult, you're an adult, you know, there's no longer like, I have to take care of you, and you just punched me in the face. I'm not gonna let another adult punch me in the face and live in my house, especially rent-free, so you have to get out. And he starts arguing back to his dad that he's not gonna go anywhere, and he can't kick him out, you know, and he's an old loser, and there's nothing he could do about it. And then he hears him trying to stop his dad from going back into his room, and hears like, no, no, and hears them coming down the stairs. And the next thing he sees isn't them coming down the stairs, but it's an Xbox flying through the sky instead. Literally like a magic electronic boomerang, dude. It's just flying through the air. The only problem is it doesn't return to the person who threw it. It just smashes into the ground. And it's not like one of those things where he knows for sure it's broken, but considering it just got tossed down the stairs, landed on tile, and is now like got pieces flying off of it, he assumes that it's probably pretty broken. Anyways, his stepbrother is yelling as if, like, you know, something that's irreplaceable just got thrown down the stairs. Obviously, an Xbox getting destroyed would suck. I'm not saying I wouldn't be upset, but, like, he's acting like some irreplaceable heirloom just got destroyed. That was the watch from my great-great-great-grandfather. Like, nah, it was an Xbox. And he did warn you, but whatever. He's screaming for a second, and then his dad says, like, now pack your stuff and get out. I wasn't kidding. And that's when he pulls out the ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh card, the trap card. And is like, guess what, Dad? You're an idiot. I bought a second Xbox when you took mine away so that way I could play on it. And the dad's like, you really bought a second Xbox so that way you could play secretly? And he was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, wow, man, you're really addicted to Minecraft. So go ahead and play it in your new home because I'm serious. You don't live here anymore. Like, get out. And it finally starts to set in with the Minecraft kid that his dad is serious. He's like not joking. And for some reason, instead of starting to apologize, he starts yelling about how he will just go find a place to live that supports his like want to play Minecraft all day, and he'll find a way to do it and make it happen. Because, you know, it's just a weird thing to yell for one reason. I think it's kind of impossible. Like I said, unless you're like streaming it, YouTube, something, no one's just going to pay for you to sit in one of their rooms, not clean up anything, literally have a roach infestation and play Minecraft. Even if you were clean, like who's just going to pay you to do nothing? Like literally nothing. It just makes no sense. You gotta do something. No one's gonna just literally pay you to sit around and play Minecraft. But whatever. You know, he goes and like grabs his Xbox and takes the pieces back upstairs to his room and closes the door behind him. And the stepdad goes, knocks on the door, and he's like, go away. And he demands that he gives him the Xbox that he threw down the stairs. And he's like, fine, it's broken anyways. So he opens the door back up and says something about, like, I'm packing. And so the stepdad grabs the Xbox and goes out into the garage. And obviously the subscriber goes out with him. And the stepdad grabs an axe and just starts going full Paul Bunyan mode on it. Just like making sure that this Xbox is surely full and dead. And it definitely was done. And, you know, they hear the stepbrother coming down the stairs, and he comes into the garage and yells that his like dad's an idiot because he did have 2 Xboxes, but he still hates him for breaking it. And he like lifts up the duffel bag he has in his hands and says that he's leaving now and starts to walk to his car, but he's walking really slowly, I think hoping that his dad will stop him and be like, please no. But his dad isn't rushing out to stop him. If anything, he's like glad to see him leaving. So he turns and starts making this dramatic speech about how his family should support him even if his dreams make no sense. And listen, man, it's not that they're not supporting you because your dream's a long shot. Like, if they were saying, listen, you're never gonna be able to, like, ever make any content, you know? And you're like, I just want to give it a try. And they just said, don't try. You're an idiot. Your dreams are stupid. I would understand. They're just saying you gotta be able to support yourself if you're gonna be playing video games 9 hours a day. That's not them not supporting you, bro. And so his dad literally asked him, like, what do you mean by that? How should we support you? And he says that they should let him do whatever he wants, even if it's nothing. And the dad's like, you know, maybe if you were peacefully doing nothing, that's one thing, but it's the real world. You cost a lot of money, and you got a roach infestation, and you had a job that you lost because you were just doing nothing. Like, I can't let you do whatever you want and just walk all over me in the name of it being your dreams, especially considering the fact that you're willing to punch me if I tell you no. Like, even if the guy's right and his family should support him, he's just glossing over the fact that he literally punched his dad over the block game. So whatever, he just like leaves once he realizes his dramatic speech isn't gonna make a difference, and drives off to his friend's apartment where he had apparently started renting a room. And 2 weeks later, he's texting his stepdad and the subscriber's mom, begging for like them to let him move back in for free. And he didn't want to get a job, but he just needed a second chance. And they were like, no, you have to figure this out for yourself, man. And yeah, apparently he's like got a different job that he works full-time at now and probably doesn't have as much time to be sitting around. And he had a pretty sweet thing going on. I mean, all things considered, you just work from home part-time, play video games, eventually go back to school, pretty sick. But you just had to throw it all away for Minecraft, man. And punching your dad over Minecraft, like punching your dad alone is already a pretty big thing to come back from. I feel like punching your dad might be one of those things that they might hold a grudge for. But especially over Minecraft, like what is he supposed to tell his friends? Yeah, me and my son got into a fight. Oh my gosh, over what? Was it some family drama? No, you know the block game Minecraft? Yeah, I said he couldn't play it anymore, and we got into a real boxing match. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. If you don't know what to comment, just go ahead and comment the word punch down below. It helps the video do better, and I'd appreciate it. And if you don't comment it, the Minecraft kid might come try to punch you instead. Other than that, subscribe if you're new, turn on those notifications. And if you really want to help me out, I do post the audio versions of these up on Spotify, so if you want to check that out, link down below. Listen offline without gameplay, whatever floats your boat. And I also have a playlist of some of my favorite story times from this year in the YouTube description down below, so if you want something to watch while you're doing your homework, gaming, whatever, use that playlist. I would appreciate ya. And yeah, on that note, guys, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see each and every single one of you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.